こっちのセリフです。
技を繰り出す時、それが俺様の勝利の時だ。素人相手にしてるみたいだ。
Starting this list off with a fan-favorite Demon Lord series by the name of How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, an isekai series that focuses on a demon lord from another world named Diablo, who is the strongest character in the video game, but now, the person who played as Diablo ended up actually becoming his own character after being summoned to the other world by two girls. The first season was created by Aji Do and then handed over to Tezuka Productions in the second season. There's actually a lot of progressive story and subversion plot points that are oh so predictable yet so satisfying to watch. It's like you're watching an actual playthrough of the game itself, which is insane. You probably thought that this is the usual isekai cliche trope that, you know, will work against it, but nope. With decent execution and the overtime boringness that sets in, at the very least, it manages to keep the investment level of the series quite high. It doesn't feel cringeworthy whatsoever, even though with the forced humor. Next up on the list we have is Black and White Warriors, which is a Chinese animation series by Wawayu Animation. I think this anime has quite the decent storyline, but also very solid animation work with tons of action involved. Maybe a bit confusing once you start, but getting the hang of things is a very easy task. In terms of where it stands with other Chinese animation series, well, it's not as good as, let's say, The King's Avatar or The Daily Life of the Immortal King, as those stand on a much higher level, further up in terms of being some of the best Chinese anime to watch, but this one is still reasonably very good. Chinese anime deserves to be watched, as recently their quality of work has, you know, improved so much to the point where sometimes on another level than Japanese animation. That's why Black and White Warriors is on this list for you all to check out.
好久不见。
面白い。
Peach Boy Riverside. Yes, it does sound like a boys band title, but the anime is actually really damn good. I know we have seen countless anime that features humans and monsters unable to coexist together and always fight and get into conflicts, but this one might be one of the better ones that I have discovered when it first aired. There are two protagonists in the show, a female and a male one, both, you know, wielding powerful eye abilities that grant them absolute superhuman strength to fight against, you know, Onis and protect human settlements from destruction. It's such a cool power, and yet both characters, while they may appear human, are often incredibly underestimated by monsters, not knowing they possess superhuman strength to kill Oni at a very fast rate. Asahi Production did a really great job. However, a huge issue is, you know, the issue is just skipping out of the content and also how the episodes aren't published in order, making this confusing to watch when it first was airing. Blue Exorcist. Damn, it's definitely been such a long time since watching this. Developed by A1 Pictures in 2011, this is a really cool anime that features demons and more towards exorcising demons. It's a classic shonen that has become very memorable across the anime fan base, though many may complain the story wasn't great. Sure, that may be the case, but it felt like I was watching some kind of an epic movie. Now, I'll have to admit, the basic plot has been done before. We've all had our share of Sons of Satan, but it still managed to be very interesting anyways. You know, all the characters are fun to tag along with on their adventure, and it gets a lot more interesting during the second season, which I highly recommend. I don't think many people know about this, but deeming it's quite super underrated for a shonen that is fairly new to the anime industry, this is called Radiant. Now I'm sure many of you have heard similar words such as I'm gonna become the Wizard King or the best wizard. Maybe series such as Black Clover or Naruto come along to these lines, and yes, the shonen is actually very similar to those anime that I just mentioned. It is slow paced, generic plot points. Overall, actually half of the series is quite slice of life. Its strong sides lie within the light comedy and world building. Those who are looking for a more meaningful story or epic writing stuff, you won't find anything from here. Never expected, to actually like this series so much. I'm not familiar with the source material, so I can't really speak on behalf of those who wanted a loyal adaptation, but as an anime-only watcher, this type of light series with its fresh approach was exactly what I needed. So after I finished watching Codebreakers, I must say I did not waste my time at all with it. It's got good visual quality, very nice characters, and really good choreographed battle scenes. The balance and the dynamic between humor, action, and a little bit of a drama is done very good, and it keeps the audience's attention throughout the entire anime. Created by Kinema Citrus in the year 2012, people might argue that the ending is not satisfying, which I can definitely agree on, but it does have its shining moments, which I think we can all appreciate very much. I can gladly say that I can recommend it to everyone because I believe it is worth watching. Now we're moving into an anime series created by Ajiado in the year 2021 called Kemono Jihen. Without a doubt, this anime was the dark horse of winter 2021. Dark not only for its fame and premises, but that are being overshadowed, but also in its plot and story that twists the audience around its bloody red hand gloves. Among tons of promising sequels and exciting, intriguing anime that are pumped into the winter season, I step into watching the show with no clue whatsoever on what it's about, and it left me impressed with the gory yet thrilling adventure of the protagonist against the relentless demons. Warm my heart with a genuine, portrayal of friendship that exceeds protect values. And really, it blew my expectations away. This is a really good anime to watch. BOFURI does have a character with a big shield, so what gets people into watching this anime that is a VR MMO setting? Virtual reality is no stranger to the isekai creative realm. Sword Art Online became one of the biggest franchises of the past decade. BOFURI has nowhere near that level of popularity and horsepower, and for most people, they're turning to heads and asking themselves, what the hell is BOFURI in the first place? Well, it's essentially a series that is dropping our main character into a virtual reality world, and she carries a vast amount of vitality, but very low amount of offensive power, so she maxed out her defense and doesn't want to get hurt. This kind of led to her being one of the strongest VR MMO players, of almost being unkillable thanks to her high defense stats. I'm very sure you all recognize Black Clover. This anime actually used to be hated at first due to Asta being annoying, but soon later, this series has now become one of the greatest shonen series of all time that is constantly being talked about by the anime fanbase. Brought to you by Studio Period in 2017, Black Clover has a total of 170 episodes and also a movie that is coming soon in 2023. I know this may sound a lot, but watching the shonen is probably one of the best decisions that you can ever make. A simple story of how a protagonist born with no magic is entering a new opportunity where he can compete and achieve his dream of becoming the Wizard King, who is the strongest being in the world, and only the best of the best can obtain this status. Asta has no magic, but thanks to a mysterious Black Clover grimoire he got, he now has access to anti-magic and also supreme demonic form that later on will be discovered. Now finally, to end this list off, I'm recommending to you all is Hinomaru Zumo, which is a sumo wrestling base focusing on a short protagonist who wishes to compete in a sport that he is so passionate about. Despite the fact that he is underestimated heavily due to his height, but people are in it for a ride once they find out his true demon strength. You don't find a lot of anime that can really say and tick all the boxes to being the perfect experience. However, Hinomaru Zumo undoubtedly comes really close. It evokes powerful emotions every episode and had me on the edge of my seat for the outcomes of each sumo bout, which were never predictable and always gave me a dramatic flair. The soundtrack, while not particularly striking among some of the greater soundtracks we've seen in anime, it is very fitting and sets the mood brilliantly at every turn. Heavily recommend this series to anyone who enjoys suspense action-based anime, martial arts, or even sports anime. Looks like you just made it to the end of the video and witnessed 10 anime characters who have the strength of a demon. If I have managed to leave any anime out in particular that you thought would be a great addition on the list, then please let me know in the comment section down below, as I'd love to hear your very own opinion, or just comment down below what you thought of the video in general, as I'd always appreciate the feedback. So please enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.